Hollywood is not really there to entertain you. Like, that's great that happens, but propaganda is something that is important to all civilization.
The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be distractions and fires to hide evidence. Watch for it, ask questions, demand answers.
But what if it was like that game of three-card Monte? What if they were all friends and I didn't know it?
Almost like it feels like God is angry, and this is like all the dark versus the light, and all the dark that is Hollywood is like just being taken down. Like Diddy went down this year.
Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side.
The recent Los Angeles wildfires have sparked a wave of theories suggesting that these fires were intentionally set to destroy incriminating evidence. And now Dave Chappelle and Katt Williams are stirring the pot even more with their takes on this tragedy. So some folks believe that the fires were deliberately ignited to cover up evidence linked to high-profile individuals, specifically Diddy and high-profile industry friends. Now here's where it gets wild. Allie Carter, an alleged survivor of the elite ritual parties, actually predicted these fires a few months back and warned her followers on social media not to believe everything they hear on the news about these natural disasters. Allie also talked about the alleged existence of underground tunnels and the rumored involvement of high-profile individuals in disgusting crimes. And guess what? Some new reports claim that firefighters in California uncovered strange tunnels under some of the burned properties. But is there any real evidence that these wildfires were planned and orchestrated to destroy evidence and protect powerful individuals? And how do Katt Williams and Dave Chappelle's comments play into this narrative? Let's break it down.
I'm saying it is what it is.
Okay.
Right after the age of truth, the revealing is the scab being pulled off, and then the healing can begin.
Wildfires tearing through Los Angeles have been devastating, but a lot of people feel like something is off, and some are even questioning if this disaster was truly natural. Social media is flooded with theories about what really caused these fires, and the most viral theory alleges that powerful figures in Hollywood and politics set the fires on purpose to destroy evidence ahead of Diddy's new trial in May. Even former government official Catherine Austin Fitts is adding fuel to the speculation, and she pointed out that many celebrities connected to Diddy's circle somehow kept their homes safe while houses right next to them burned down. Fitts, who once served as the U.S. Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under President George H.W. Bush, discussed this theory on her podcast and said she noticed a pattern in which homes were lost and which ones were mysteriously spared.
What I want to see, what I usually look at in situations like this, is I look at the patterns of who got wiped out and how. And one of the first questions, I'll be honest, that I'm going to look at when I look at some of the communities involved is how many of the homeowners were on the P. Diddy list.
But then Fitts took it even further and suggested that these wildfires might have been started on purpose to hide some truly awful crimes. In fact, she claimed that powerful people had been doing this for a long time and going to extreme lengths to cover up their wrongdoings.
Wonderful subscriber, has been a subscriber for many years, Polly, and for the first time in his life, he read the Franklin cover-up last week. And I spoke to him last weekend, and he said, I keep hearing you. He said, you get frustrated because people don't understand the importance of financial transaction freedom to their lives. And I hear you keep telling people who say, well, I don't have many assets, and if they take my assets, I don't care. And I hear you telling people, wait a minute, they can take your children. They can mandate health treatments to your children, and they can literally take your treatment. And he said, you need to understand that even though I've been a subscriber for 10 years, I didn't understand what you were saying. And he said, I don't think most people understand what you're saying. But I read the Franklin cover-up, which is one of the best, highly documented cases of a ring in America. And he said, now I understand what you mean. Now I understand what you mean when you say they'll take your children, and what that really means, and why financial transaction freedom is so very important to me and to you, because we cannot allow that to happen. So he said, this is the first time that it really got to be personal. It really touched me in an intimate and visceral way. And You know, and I've seen dreadful things done in the interest of covering up the pedophilia rings. And this is likely to include, you know, whenever you do an operation this big, you stack functions. So there's a lot of stacking functions going on, but it wouldn't surprise me if pedophilia is one of those functions that's getting stacked here.
Also, remember Allie Carter, a survivor who claims she was sold through the foster care system and used as a party favor by Hollywood and political elites. Well, back in October 2024, Allie actually predicted that there would be fires and other strange events taking place. And apparently, it all ties to Diddy's arrest and his upcoming trial in May, where more celebs are set to be exposed for allegedly taking part in Diddy's freak-offs.
There is a third arrest that is coming. There's two that's already down. The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be deaths, distractions, and fires to hide evidence. Watch for it, ask questions, demand answers. Watch for those fires. Explosions make fires too. Explosions make accidental fires too. And then, oops, we don't know how that happened. And then you look into it and you see that it's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to. And then you realize, oh, it wasn't just an explosion or a fire. It wasn't an accident.
It's pretty interesting that Allie Carter kept mentioning explosions in her videos because people in the LA area have actually recorded mysterious explosions that seemed to trigger fires almost instantly. But here's where things take an even wilder turn. Some social media series have also pointed out that right after these fires broke out, Edgar Welch, the man who tried to expose the so-called Pizzagate conspiracy, was shot by police in North Carolina.
Betcha didn't see this.
Tonight, the man who terrorized people at a crowded D.C. pizza shop back in 2016 has died. Edgar Madison Welch was shot Monday by police in Kannapolis, North Carolina, after he pulled out during a traffic stop. 8 years ago, the so-called Pizzagate gunman entered Comet Ping Pong in Northwest with a revolver and rifle. He was searching for a non-existent child's sex ring, which he learned about from a right-wing conspiracy website. Welch was sentenced to prison and released back in 2021.
This happened 2 hours ago, or it was reported 2 hours ago. Let's break this video down a little bit.
8 years ago, the so-called Pizzagate gunman entered Comet Ping Pong in Northwest with a revolver and rifle. He was searching for a non-existent child's ring.
Interesting that they just had to include those words. A non-existent child's ring. Why? Why not just say he was searching for a child's ring?
He learned about from a right-wing conspiracy website.
And of course, you just had to add that too, right? Of course, he learned about it from a right-wing conspiracy website. Duh. So let me get this straight. Just as all of Hollywood, basically all of Hollywood, burns to the ground, the conspiracy theory that is most associated with Hollywood and elites and celebrities pops up again out of nowhere because the person who allegedly went in looking for it and, by the way, didn't shoot anybody, he shot at the ground and then walked out and turned himself in. That person is pretty coincidental that this is right around the time where the Diddy stuff started coming out, Jay-Z, we still don't have any clue who's on the Epstein client list. All this stuff that seems to be happening, that seems to be exposing a lot of what we've been talking about for the last, who knows, freaking 8 years now. Just kind of weird that all of Hollywood burns to the ground right as all this stuff is starting to be exposed.
Now, to give you some context, back in December 2016, Edgar Welch arrived at Comet Ping Pong and fired 3 shots inside the restaurant. Welch, father of 2 daughters, later told the police that he had planned to self-investigate the Pizzagate theory, and he reportedly saw himself as a rescuer of children.
28-year-old Edgar Welch was arrested in Washington Sunday afternoon outside Comet Ping Pong, a popular family pizza parlor. D.C. police say Welch fired at least 1 round into the restaurant floor with an AR-15 rifle like this one on his Facebook page. No one was injured. Police say Welch drove all the way from North Carolina to self-investigate Pizzagate, a fictitious online conspiracy theory. Pizzagate started on the internet shortly before Election Day, when right-wing sites that make up fake news spread rumors that Hillary Clinton was involved in a child trafficking ring in D.C. Court documents say Welch read online that the Comet restaurant was harboring child slaves, and he was armed to help rescue them.
Welch later said that he regretted his actions at the restaurant, but he didn't dismiss the Pizzagate theory, and he rejected the description of this theory as fake news. Welch also clarified that he wasn't political at all, despite the mainstream media describing him as far-right. In fact, he said that he didn't vote for either Trump or Hillary Clinton. Welch was later charged with 2 additional offenses and pleaded guilty to the federal charge of interstate transport of firearms. And then for a few years, no one heard anything about Welch, and the whole Pizzagate theory pretty much faded from the spotlight. But fast forward to January 7, 2025, and Welch was killed in Kannapolis, North Carolina by 2 police officers during a traffic stop after he reportedly brandished a gun at the officers. And interestingly, January 7th is also when the California fires broke out.
Investigate an unfounded conspiracy theory about the being used for child sex crimes. Welch served 4 years in prison and was released in March of 2020.
Now, of course, the fact that Welch was killed by the police on the same day the California fires broke out could be a total coincidence. At this point, there's no concrete evidence linking these 2 events, and any connection at this point is pure speculation. Welch was shot by officers in North Carolina after allegedly charging at them with a weapon. Meanwhile, the fires in California erupted under extreme weather conditions with strong winds and dry vegetation, creating the perfect storm for rapid spread. So logically, there's no reason to believe these 2 incidents are connected. But that hasn't stopped the internet from running wild with theories. A lot of people are pointing to Ali Carter's warning about the fires, while others think it's suspicious that these fires broke out just months before Diddy's trial in May. Rumors are going around that the destruction was meant to eliminate evidence or distract from even bigger scandals. But that's not all. People on social media are claiming that those rumored underground tunnels Ali Carter mentioned in her videos were intentionally blown up during the fires. One person on X posted a video from a press conference where firefighters talked about finding an underground lithium battery storage. And in the caption, the user hinted that this discovery might be connected to the explosions. Turns out there's a tunnel system under these LA fires. They're saying that there's a lithium battery facility in these tunnels meant for bicycles. Because they're burning, the air is poisonous, so you're not allowed near the tunnels. Those are definitely tunnels.
With the hazmat, we have found a underground lithium battery storage plant for bicycle batteries that has posed a huge hazard in that area. We are working with the hazmat teams to keep that contained. So a lot of that is just very dangerous. As you just heard, the air quality in some of that area is still very, very high and dangerous.
But no matter what is really causing these fires, more and more people are starting to feel like something isn't adding up. This doesn't seem like just another random wildfire anymore, and there's growing suspicion that someone might be deliberately keeping the flames going in certain areas. People are noticing that some neighborhoods are getting wiped out while others stay untouched, and that's only adding to the theory that those fires could be part of a bigger cover-up. And now, to make things even crazier, sources close to Katt Williams claim he actually predicted something like this would happen. Allegedly, before the fires even started, Katt told people in his inner circle that a major disaster was coming, one that would conveniently destroy evidence before more big names could be dragged into the Diddy scandal. And according to Katt, this isn't just about Diddy. He supposedly believes this goes way beyond him, and that there are some extremely powerful people pulling the strings who are desperate to keep anyone from looking too closely into those allegations that Ali Carter has been talking about. Right now, Katt is continuing his North American Heaven on Earth tour, so we'll be keeping a close eye to see if he brings up his alleged prediction about the California fires. In the meantime, the internet is buzzing with speculation, and people are convinced that these fires aren't just a regular natural disaster. And while there's no agreement on who or what might be behind them, one thing most people can agree on is that something about this whole situation just feels off. One person commented, "As soon as the fire started there, I was like, they are really burning all the evidence. I wonder how many people they will find in the fires passed away." And then someone else added, "Seems like people aren't talking about Jay-Z allegations anymore because they're focusing on the fires. Seems fishy." But now I want to hear your thoughts on all these theories. Do you think people are reading too much into this, or is there actually some truth to the idea that these fires were set on purpose to cover up evidence? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to check out this next video.